We're gathered here tonight because there are about 2 billion Muslims in the world today. That during these days they are fasting the month of Ramadan. They're fasting the month of Ramadan in order to obey the commandments of the religion of Islam, out of obedience to Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the best man to ever be sent to the earth. They're doing it out of obedience to him and out of love for him. And so during these days, in the month of Ramadan, Imam al-Mahdi, Muhammad ibn al-Hasan al-Askari alayhi salam, he sent me forth to give the 2 billion Muslims on this blessed night a Ramadan gift, an early Eid gift. And that's this beautiful portrait that was painted by an amazing artist, Zahra. Where's Zahra? Thank you, Zahra, for this amazing work that you've done for Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, that we're dedicating tonight to the entire Muslim nation. It's actually a portrait of his great-grandfather, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa, the Prophet of Islam. The grandson of the Prophet Muhammad was so beloved to him, he used to pick him up, he used to kiss him on his neck, he used to kiss him on his forehead. He said about him in very famous hadiths that are even Sunni and Shia. It's been narrated in Sunni and Shia sources. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves whoever loves Al-Hussein. And he also said, Al-Hussein is from me and I am from Al-Hussein. And after the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Muslims, just like the ones that are fasting Ramadan today, they went back on their pledge of allegiance to Rasulullah and they apostated from the religion of Islam and they beheaded the grandson of Rasulullah, Al-Hussein alayhi salam. And so we're going to unveil this beautiful portrait tonight as a reminder to the entire Muslim nation of what it is that they have done. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. As you can see here, we have the head of Imam al-Hussein, the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is Shimr. Shimr was one of the so-called Muslims. He went out to fight Imam al-Hussein because he felt like we didn't want to have him rule the Muslim nation. And so him and all of the Muslim nation, they went against the Prophet's family. There were only 70 some of them. Shimr, the one that you see here, depicted in such a realistic way. You see his eyes are shining, they're glowing like animals. He has all of this blood splattered on his face. His teeth are like a dog's teeth. You have blood dripping down his hands. This is actually a rendition, a real rendition of what took place. This is not fantasy. This is reality. This is Islamic history. The Imams from the Ahlul Bayt, they said that the Muslims did with the family of Rasulullah what no other nation, not the Christians, Jews, Nobody had committed a crime the likes of what was committed against Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They raised his head on a spear and they marched with it after Shimr sat on the chest of Imam al-Hussein as Imam al-Hussein was taking his final breaths, as he was calling out saying, Ya Rasulullah, as he was saying, oh my grandfather, oh my mother Fatima. And Shimr sliced his throat and proceeded to grab him by the beard as he was cutting off and severing his head from his body, and then he attached it to this spear here and marched through the Muslim nations. So we're going to let you guys come forth and admire this painting, which we have titled, How Could You Let This Happen? And that's the question. So Ramadan Mubarak to all the Muslims out there, the 2 billion Muslims that are fasting and they're hoping that their fast to be accepted. The narrations from Muhammad and the family of Muhammad ﷺ said that it will never be accepted until vengeance for Al-Hussein is served. لبيك يا حسين 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 لبيك يا حسين. Tonight, in this fake month of Ramadan that they're fasting, we deliver a message to the Muslim Ummah, and not just to the Muslim Ummah, but to the rest of the world, that there's a revolution that's brewing. There's a movement that has begun. There's a spark of fire that will never go out until this whole earth is returned back to its rightful owners, and that is Muhammad and the family of Muhammad alayhim salam.